So this is all called the American Rescue Plan Act, and it is referred to as ARPA to make it easy on all of us. It's about building a world-class workforce, and these are grants and bonuses. We're going to talk a little bit about the timeline that we have established for all this. We launched the system, which is called WebAuthor, and you're all going to hear about this in the future. I'm sorry, I apologize. You're going to hear about that we launched this last Tuesday. So the system became live last Tuesday. We began information sessions on the 19th, and then today is the follow-up for those. We have done 2 sessions in Spanish, and we will have done 2 sessions in English. They will be posted so you all can refer to them like I told you before. So tonight is about guiding you to set up your accounts in the WebAuthor system. This is a new system we are using. It is not something most of you have ever used before. Once you have submitted your application with the information about your center and you've answered some questions, we will then be reviewing your accounts. Once you are approved, you will receive an email that will then opens the gate for you to begin to apply for the grants. And tonight we're going to tell you about the first 2 grants that are available. The first grant that is available is the recruitment bonus. These are for new teachers. The program is called Recruit and Train New Teachers. So the first one again is the recruitment bonus, and I'll tell you more about what that is. And the second one is the health and safety bonus. So you'll be learning about these tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about eligibility. The first thing is any provider that is applying must be licensed with the Department of Children and Families. So you would have a DCF license number. The second thing you must know is you must not have had a contract terminated by the Early Learning Coalition within the last 5 years. You must not be under investigation for fraud, and you must not be on the disqualified list for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA. The last thing we need from you is to make sure that you have a current W-9 form submitted with us, and you're going to see how easy it will be for you to upload that in this new system. And again, one of the other things you are going to find out is that all training and activities that are tied to these grants have to occur between July 1, 2022. So that's last July, and must be completed by June 30th, 2023. Okay. So now we're going to tell you a little bit about what this application looks like. And the one thing I want to mention about this screen is this is the email address that you will send any questions, any concerns, any thoughts you have. This email address is vital to you. It's really important, and I'm going to share it with you several times tonight. So at some point in time, you should take a picture of it. There is one screen that has all of our contact on it and how to reach us. So you can make sure you get your phones ready to take a picture of those. So the first thing is, how do you access this application? And we've got 3 different ways that you can get to the same place. This first link right here is the first, it's the direct link. This gets you right here to this box, which is how you're going to open up your application. If you know our website, you can also go through there, and right on the front page, we have this little banner right by where the children are, and you click on that and you get to this place. And the last is, if you know the provider's corner, you can select the ARPA workforce page and it takes you right to it. So everything leads you to here. Okay. So this is important that you find an easy way for yourself to get to these pages, because this is where all of the information is always going to be for you. Okay. So what do you do when you get there? You need to begin to register. So again, this is the site. And when you get there, you will enter your first name, your last name, and your email address. and you will click on the register button, okay? That's gonna guide you to reset a password. So it takes you right in, and you'll need to add a password and confirm your password. Make sure you write this somewhere where you're gonna have it, because your access will be through your email address and through your password. You will check on here that you are not a robot, and you click on the blue button. After that, you will need to agree to the terms, which you can read by scrolling down. And once you have read them and you agree to them, you would check off I agree. If you do not agree, you would hit do not agree, and that will be that. So it's a very simple process to get you started in opening up your account and filling out all of the applications. Some of you have multiple addresses because you have several centers or several family care homes. This is the page where you will be entering the name of the center, and you will do that by using your provider ID. And so you would click on the blue button, and you would add the information that it requests. And once you have done that, and again, you'll be using your provider ID, you can save it. If you have other centers to enter, you would continue by pressing the blue button again and adding the second center and the third, and so on and so forth. So this is a very simple page. Again, if you don't have your provider ID, you can write us at arpa@elcmdm.org. On the next page is where your address that is on record with us will appear. If you see a small triangle, it's the red caution sign in this area, you will need to double check the address and the information on this side of the form, because what you're looking for is for it to turn into a check mark. Once you have a check mark, the address is correct, and the computer agrees with what you have entered and double checked. So that's just important. Make sure that you get to the check mark. I'm sorry, I'm showing you the wrong place. So here is the triangle, here is the check mark. Okay, I'm sorry, I was marking on my wrong screen. So this is a page where we have pre-marked, pre-checked off all of the bonuses that are potentially available eventually. Okay, leave them checked, because even if you don't apply for them, it won't matter. We want them all checked for now. You're not applying for them because you're going to need a lot more information. But for now, just leave those checked. There is a question here that asks if you have already taken courses in class. This response, the first question, is no. Your response should be no to this question. Okay, I'm talking about this question right here. The second question is asking if the educator, the teachers, or the director will be taking classes. This response should be yes. So your first question is no, your second question is yes. And the program year is exactly right. It's 2022, 2023. You don't need to do anything there. Okay, so leave these alone. First response here is no. Second response is yes. Leave the dates alone. We do want to alert you that these grants are on a first come, first served basis, and you will not be able to take any of these courses until we give you access codes, which are called key codes, to enter the Teachstone system. All training will be done virtually. It is available in English and Spanish, and it will be done in many cases at on your hours. So you would just connect, and we'll guide you how to connect to Teachstone, how to get in there. You can take a class on a Saturday night, you could take a class on a Sunday morning, whatever works for you in many cases. In other cases, you will have to show up for a training because it is being provided by Teachstone with a live trainer. Okay, so that's really important for you to remember that. So on this page, I want to remind you about those three questions, those questions that we referred to in the beginning. But the first question is, are you contracted with an early learning coalition for school readiness and or VPK services? You would mark yes or no here. If you were to check off any of these 3 questions, are you under investigation for fraud? Are you on the disqualified USDA list? Or have you had a contract terminated in the last 5 years with the coalition? If you respond yes to any of these 3 questions, you will not be able to go any further. Okay, and that would, because we've already explained that the eligibility requires that all of these answers be no. Okay, so you'll have to mark your no's. And then the most important piece besides that is that here is where you are going to upload a brand new W-9 form. Even though you've submitted another one to us in the past, we need a new one. And if you don't have one, you'll click on the gray bar and you will have access to a fillable one, which you will then sign and you can submit to us. This is really, really important because this is how we will be able to pay you. So we're going to move on. Once you finish that, you're ready to sign the application. And you would electronically sign, you would mark the yes check mark here, accepting the electronic signature. And the last thing you do is you save and you submit. It will take us, and I'm going to go to the next screen. So here is what happens next. Once you've completed the registration, the coalition is going to review it. And then we're going to take between 7 and 10 days, and it may be a few more days as we get busier, to review your application. And if we have any questions, we're going to come back to you. I want you to remember that all communication regarding these grants will come to you by email. So you need to pay attention to your emails because that is how you're going to get approved, or we will ask you questions, okay? Once approved, your email will be sent to you, and then you can then go back to the WebAuthor link, and then we're going to you can begin to process some of your grants, especially 2 that we're going to show you tonight. I want to mention.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Who do you submit the application to?
Okay, I'm going to go back for 1 minute. Okay. The application is going to be submitted online. I'm going to back up one screen so that when you hit this button right here, it says save and submit. That's when you submit, when you hit this button. You don't, that's the last thing you do.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I wanted to mention to you that this beautiful landscape changes all the time. The one thing that is really important is your ARPA button will always remain there. But just know that you might see a beach scene, you might see a city scene. The WebAuthor system has these beautiful landscapes that you'll enjoy, but don't be looking for these mountains because it'll probably be something different. You always want to go to the ARPA icon. This is where you will go back to your application, okay? So what's available now? We want to share with you 2 of the grants that are available. These grants are for recruiting and training new teachers. Bonuses and grants are only for early learning educators. These are teachers that have been hired on or after July 1, 2022. That is the past July. So anytime from July 1 forward, any new teacher that can demonstrate that they have been working for 120 hours and the provider and the teacher can attest, which means you're going to sign a document to prove that they are eligible, and you can submit a pay stub saying that they have worked 120 hours of employment, will receive a $500 recruitment bonus. Okay, that's one of the 2 bonuses that are available now. For anybody who has hired new teachers, this is a wonderful opportunity to tell them we want you, we want to keep you. So the second piece is the health and safety bonus. This again is for teachers. And again, they must have been hired on or after July 1st, 2022. This is tied to them completing the health and safety training, which is part of the 45-hour training. They must have the health and safety training and provide a transcript. It's a DCF transcript that that says that they have completed the health and safety training. They will receive a $700 bonus. Okay, so this is only for new teachers. This is not for old teachers. This is not for directors. This is only for teachers hired on or after July 1. There are more bonuses coming, and I'm going to share that with you. But right now, once your application is approved, you can begin to process the request for any teachers that qualify for either of these bonuses. Okay, here we go. What's coming next? There is the intent of all of this, besides the recruitment and the retention of teachers. This is also tied to the class assessment. So teachers would have access to the class bonus. The class bonus is in two areas. One is for pre-kindergarten and the other one is for infant and toddler. This is a series of sessions which total 21 hours that would give teachers a $600 bonus if they complete these specific 21 hours of training. These are again through TeachStone, and they are online. They are in English and in Spanish, and they require that when you complete them, you would have to submit, what the teachers complete these, you would submit a TeachStone certificate or certificates of completion for those very specific training sessions, okay? These are not training sessions you've taken in the past. They have to have been taken recently, okay? And we will give you access to those trainings once you are approved. For directors, we have a grant called Upskilling Directors. These are sessions that are 27 hours of training sessions for directors, also connected to the class assessment. And that would give directors a $700 bonus upon completion of the 27 hours. Whoops, sorry, I apologize. The next are Elevating the Florida Early Learning Workforce. These are two different grants. One of them is for teachers. These are two series, and each of them are for 24 hours. If you complete either of those or both, you would get $750 for each of them. Okay, so the potential here is to get $1,500 if you complete the two 24-hour sessions. Okay, there is a Class Observer Director Training Grant. This is only for directors. This is a 14-hour training session of the class observation tools. And at completion of that, you would receive a $1,200 bonus. The last is the Continuous Quality Improvement Grant. And this actually is something we've never seen before, which we're very excited about. This requires that the center or the family care home write a professional development plan for themselves and their staff that must be completed. It must be first approved by a committee that we have established, and you could receive up to $19,800 to put that plan in place. Okay. More information is going to follow on each of these bonuses. How do you do them? How do you apply? All of that is coming to you in the near future. We are working really hard to establish all this, to have TeachStone information for you, how you will apply, how it will all work. We will be giving you that in the very near future. And we're very excited about being able to bring these to you, because this is a wonderful time for teachers to have access to some bonuses and some grants, and the same for directors. So we're really, really thrilled to bring you that. So what happens next is your applications. You're going to work on your applications. They will go into the queue, and our ARPA team will begin to review those, and they will notify you as these grants become, as you get approved, you will be able to apply for the grants. So this is our website where you can find this information. This is our email address. For anything related to these grants, you would address ARPA@elcmdm.org. That's ARPA@elcmdm.org. And the last is, this is where our training sessions are going to be housed on the Early Learning Coalition's YouTube channel. So you'd be able to go back and see this presentation with the all of this information. But the most important thing you need to do, this is one of the screens that I said you should take a picture of, because it's got all of the information right here, and you don't have to go find it anywhere. It'll be right on your phone. And again, what we're looking for is for you to complete the application, submit the application. You're not committing to any of these grants at this time. And then as you become approved, then you can begin to work on the application for the grants. So I'm going to stop sharing, because what I'd like to do is now open this up to questions. And the way we'll do questions is you raise your hand and we'll take you in the order that you raise your hand. And Beth Davis is number 1. Hi, Beth.
Hi, I just have a question. I saw something about schools who had a 5 or higher on the class, that teachers would get $500 each. Is that separate from the continuous?
No. Yeah, so some of these grants are tied to your scores, and there is no grant that gives teachers who scored a 5 or above a $500 grant within this, and I have not heard of anything like that. My colleagues are here, and I'd like to just open it up to them to see if they've heard anything, but I have not.
The CQI is for schools that are 5 and above can qualify for the CQI.
Yeah,
The
no, but she's
competency
saying that the
improvement.
teachers would receive a $500 grant. None of these, only because they scored a 5 or above. None
No,
of these,
None of
none of
were
these,
initiative,
yeah.
no. In the CQI, yes, and depending on the plan that they built, they can definitely build out a plan and include some of those dollars if that's what they wanted to do with their staff.
Yep. So Beth, not that we know of, if we hear of anything, we'll let you all know, okay?
Yeah, I saw an email someplace that had a slide that said something about schools scoring 5 and above, teachers would get a $500 bonus.
Okay, well, not in this pile, okay? Maybe it's in another.
Thank you.
Okay, but if we see it, we'll let you know. Thank you, Beth. Leslie, you're next.
Okay, hi, good evening, thank you.
Hi, good evening.
I have a small home daycare and I don't have staff. I am the only staff. So the the 2 grants I would not be able to apply for.
That's correct.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, not those, but you can
um,
apply for the others.
Yeah, no, I'll wait for the information on that. Okay, I just wanted
Okay.
to, before I start
Yes,
going into stuff. All right, I appreciate
Okay.
it. Thank you very much.
thank you, Leslie.
Okay, have a good
Daniel
evening.
Thank you, you too. Daniel Fernandez?
Hi, how are you? Good evening.
Well, how are you?
Doing well. For the CQI, is there going to be a template of some sort for the professional development plan? Anything that we could guide ourselves on what the committee is looking for?
Yeah, we'll give you the information that has been released to us once we establish these. You know, there's no template, but what it does, it gives you a little bit of guidance as to how far you all can go. You know, it could be coaching, it could be training, it could be that you hire consultants, it could be all kinds of things, and those things will be on the information piece that we give you. Okay, but I think what we're looking for is for people to get creative, you know,
Right.
and it could be that in that you actually take some of that and you do provide some of your own, like stipend or something for the teachers who completed, etc. But it is not necessarily a $19,800 grant. It is up to that. Okay, it could be
Right.
less if you all decide it should be less, but it's a wonderful opportunity to get creative.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Claudia? Claudia?
Sorry, I had a hard time. Quick question. Since our center's fairly new, we obviously haven't had the class assessment. How does that affect our center?
Interesting. Yeah, well, interestingly enough, I think what we've read in the guidance is that centers that don't have a score can apply. So you would be able to read that in the information pieces we're going to give you in the next round, where we actually put more information on each of these, so all of you have the full guidance. Okay, tonight it's about, you know, setting up these accounts, which is what we want you to do, and for the new teacher grants. But in the very near future, we will come back to you with the full information on each of these. Okay.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you very much, Claudia. Thank you. I have Cynthia.
Yes, my question is, does I know the school is gonna do an application, like the application, but the teacher has to do one as well?
The center can add the teacher, and there's actually going to be a way for the teacher to actually add themselves, but it is actually under the center where they work. So you begin this whole process by setting up the center, and then you
Okay.
can add the teachers, or the teachers can add themselves. We'll share how that will all happen with you in the near future.
Okay.
But right now, you're not
Okay.
adding anybody but the center.
Okay, Miss Anna, good evening. How are you?
Hi, Kathy, I got people with their hand raised. Can you raise your
Oh,
hand?
okay, I'm
just so
sorry.
while we take them first. Yeah, we just want to take it in order. Just makes it easier for
No
me.
problem, sweetie.
Cynthia, was that you done?
Yes, that was my question.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. I have a hand raised for Miracle Kids, but I don't have a person's name. Miracle Kids? I don't know who that is. Miss Janetta Campbell?
Yes, my question is, at this point, the teachers have to complete their classes or are in the process of doing them?
No, nobody's done any of these classes. These
Okay.
classes have
Okay.
not even been shared. So
Okay,
first of all,
wonderful.
let me make sure everybody understands this. The classes are, the classes will be shared with you in the near future. To access the classes, you're going to need certain codes. So it isn't like you're going to go to Teach Zone and start taking classes. These are very specific classes that have to be taken in a certain order. Okay, and you're going to be required to get key codes. We will give you those codes once your applications are in order. Okay.
Thank you so much. One more thing.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
if the application was submitted and it need to be corrected? Will I have access to go back and correct it?
Yes, Carolina, you want to do that?
Yes, Ms. Campbell, yes, you can go in and correct the application. Should you have an issue or something you cannot correct, you can email us at ARPA@elcmdm.org, and we'll be happy to modify or send it back to you for corrections.
Wonderful. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you. Okay, Kathy, you're up now.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I have a question for you, Miss Anna. If the if the owner filled out the application, will I have an issue if I need to go in there, or will I need to create an account as the director for the application?
The owner shares the login that they used. You can go in. If you go in as a director, you can go in as a director that's adding your information. But whoever opened up that account is the person who would have access to that information at all times as the administrator of that account, which is usually the provider, whether that be the
Okay,
director or
thank
the
you.
owner.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you,
If
Miss
you
Kathy.
if you wish to change the ownership or change who wants to manage, we can modify that as well, but we need to make sure if that needs to be done.
I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Miracle Kids Center. I wasn't able to talk before.
Yeah, Maria, give me a second. We're not done with Kathy. You'll be next. Just give us a minute.
Thank you.
Miss Kathy, did you get what you needed?
Yes, I did. Thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate it.
Great. Okay. Okay, Miracle Kids, you're on.
Okay, perfect. I just have a question. We already signed and did all the application before I assist to this training. And one of the questions that you say, that we should put no, I put yes, because in that
Okay.
question does talking about some courses that the staff already taken.
So you can go back in and make it a no. Because nobody has taken the classes that need to be taken, because these classes have to be taken now, not in the past, okay?
So I can go back to the link
Yes,
and
ma'am.
just put a no and
Yes,
resubmit
ma'am.
it.
Yes,
Perfect.
ma'am.
All right. Thank
Exactly, okay? You guys are an easy group. We're only at 6:33. Any more questions? Raise your hand.
Yes, Anjani Edwards, I wanted to know if you started like in the early 2014 and you did the safety. It's not gonna be accepted. It has to be for new
No.
teachers.
Yes, ma'am. It's that
So
piece.
can I do it? Can I redo it again?
No, no, this is only for new teachers. The
Oh, okay.
idea here is to not only hire, but also retain new teachers. It's a bonus to keep them in this business, as well as to encourage them to take more training and to stay in their jobs. So that's what the intent is there.
So being a
And-
VPK teacher for about 9 years, what
Mhm.
would you say would be the best thing to qualify for under this?
Well, the teachers are going to have access to the bonuses for the class bonuses, and there's pre-K and there's infant and toddler opportunities there.
Okay.
So you'll be able to
Okay.
do that for sure.
Okay.
And you can look at the other
Class.
options. We're gonna, it's all class related. Everything is class related. All of the
Okay.
training is related to class. And, you know, I mean, it's just so important to take professional development
Okay.
anyway. And this is all paid for. All materials will be delivered to your centers directly. You won't have to pick up anything. It's going to be a great opportunity. It's going to be a quick opportunity. We'll be done by
Wow.
June 30th. So,
Wow.
you know, put your seatbelts on because we're going to be
Right.
busy.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much.
thank
I
you.
have somebody with WAFAA. Hello? Okay, Sue Ellen? This is Anna. Good afternoon, good evening.
Yes, hi, I'm actually representing Sue Ellen. She is in another meeting. My
Okay.
name is Michelle Lane and I'm going to be the new director here at St. James. I do have a question though, because there's quite a few questions in the chat and they were some
Mhm.
really good questions. I didn't know if you were going to go through answers.
Well, I'll start looking at it. I was waiting for the people with their hand raised first, but
Gotcha.
I will look at them. We'll look at them if we have time. I've got one more person behind
Thank you.
you. Tell me your name again. I'm sorry.
Michelle Lane,
Michelle Lane. Michelle, welcome.
thank you.
Congratulations on your new position. We're thrilled you're there. We're very excited to meet you eventually. I know you're filling some
Wonderful.
big shoes. So
Great,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Laura, you have your hand raised?
Yes, good evening. Okay, if you're a BPK teacher, but you're also a director, how would I apply?
Carolina, do we have anything on this? Can they apply for both?
We've requested guidance from OEL or DL. We're still waiting on that. It's available if you can, but doing it as a director, there's a higher dollar amount attached, and there is other bonuses that will come up within this round that you're available.
Yeah, Laura, by the time we give you the information, we're hoping to have some, can you mute your phones if you're not, hang on. If you're not speaking, would you mute your phones? When we give you the full details on all of these grants, we will have had clarification from DEL. That question came up from the very beginning about the directors having to play double roles now. So we're you know, waiting for an answer on that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
And in addition to the frequently asked questions, we will be posting them on our website and also on WebAuthor. For a lot of people that might have not had a chance to look at it in the chat, we will post them so that they can review them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Carolina. Vivian Rodriguez?
Hi, yeah, I wanted to find out with regards to completing the application, under where it states provider and then you select a provider, are you supposed to look for your name there? Or are we supposed to enter something else?
For provider ID. You can
I
look
entered
at
my-
your provider ID in your provider portal where you log in to submit provider attendance. If you don't know your provider ID, you'll be more than happy to email us and we'll respond with your provider ID. If you give us your license number, I'll be happy to respond and give you the number.
Okay, and it's
That's
the
gonna
provider
trigger the
ID,
application.
the one under the OEL page?
Yes,
Okay, because I typed that in, but it didn't come up. I may have another number. Okay.
And-
I'll. Wait, I don't hear you.
it could be something that we need to update in our records. By all means, if you email us at ARPA@elcmdm.org, I'll be happy to look it up with your license number and make sure
Okay.
that it's working properly.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vivian. Maria del Pilar Gomez.
Okay, I have a family childcare, but I don't have any children with subsidized. So I don't know what is the professional development plan, how works if I don't have children with any.
Yeah, Maria, there are some of these grants are available to centers and family care homes who do not have a contract with the Early Learning Coalition.
I have a
So-
contract. I have a contract.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yes, but I only have one child.
But it doesn't matter.
after
It
school.
doesn't
Okay.
matter if you have children or not. It
So
doesn't
I-
matter. As
I-
long as
I-
you have,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I can do I can apply and for the grants, for the professional development plan.
Yeah.
And I can apply for the upskill director too,
Yep.
or?
Yes,
Oh.
yes. All,
I-
everything that you qualify for.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Holmes?
Yes, I just want to get a clearer understanding. Okay, I am owner / director, I'm everything. I do have employees. I have 3 of them, but I have one that recently started as of last year.
Mhm.
So
After July 1?
yes, I do.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay.
So that
she-
person qualifies for the $500 bonus if they've
Right.
worked 120 hours.
Yes.
And if they have completed in the 45 hours, the health and safety piece, if they
Okay.
finished and taken the exam and completed it, the
Mhm.
competency, they could get the $700 bonus also.
Okay,
That
I will-
person could get both.
Okay, now, for the other grants that are out there, will I be able as under director or not?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Oh, okay,
of course.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Mhm.
just want to make sure. Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
this is good for everybody. I promise you, this is a wonderful New Year's gift that everybody's getting. It's
all
a
right,
good
thank
thing.
you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I have somebody, Happy.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Hi, hello. I'm trying to fill up the application, and when it says in the provider information, when you put provided is a drop down list. I cannot find the name of the school. When I put the provided ID, nothing happened.
You should send an email to arpa@elcmdm.org with that situation and they'll get back to you, okay? Because we can't help you right now. That's not what we're doing here, okay? So anything that doesn't work, just send an email to them and they will get back to you right away, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I wanted to look at some of these questions that we were told are really important. If you don't have school readiness at VPK, do you qualify? Yes, you do qualify for some of this. The grants will be very specific and they say who qualifies and who doesn't. So on the next round, when we give you that information, you'll be able to know when that is, okay? I just want to look through some of these. I only run school readiness after. So the after school sites, Carolina, I think they don't apply. After schools, school readiness after school, this does not apply to them or does? Do we know?
My understanding is That was another question that was posted, and I
Okay.
think they do, but again, within the criteria. So a lot of it has to be within the criteria that is available for each one of these grants. So if we're talking about the recruitment
Mhm.
and health and safety, and this portion, I believe they do, because
Mhm.
this is to retain
Mhm.
and maintain new staff. As
Okay.
far as the other ones that are rolling in, remember, they need to be contracted, and there's other stipulations where. the
Right, well, they
school
have a
readiness is
school
not gonna-
readiness contract, but it's for after school, and those teachers, I mean, they'd have to be willing to take these
These
really
courses.
big, yeah, these
Correct,
courses
so
are a
it's a
lot of
commitment.
hours. Right, these are a
Absolutely.
lot of hours, everything is big, big hours, but you know what, there's great, great big benefits in taking all those classes. So for anybody who's really wanting to work hard at this, and that you can get some great bonuses.
And there's
Diana
potential
has
for
shared the
growth.
link, I'm sorry?
There's potential for growth if some of these staff
yeah.
are aides or substitutes, where they can move into other positions depending on their path that they decide to take in
Mhm.
in school. So yes, a lot of opportunities are available for these two initiatives. They do not have to be contracted for the recruitment and health and safety. No contract is required. For the other ones that are coming down the pipeline, you do need to be contracted, just in case.
Mhm. And all of that information will be tied to each one of these grants.
Absolutely.
Everything will be in English and in Spanish. Yes. Do you need to take the test? Yes, the health and safety courses, you must take the test and you must pass the test for the competency for health and safety. And you must show a transcript that says that you successfully completed that. Upskilling directors, we would, okay, that's Diana, is that? Yeah, no, the upskilling directors, the assistant director would qualify, is that right, Chris, Carolina? But resource coordinator and family services workers would not be considered directors, only the director and the assistant director would be. I'm gonna, Christina, is it moot? Christina, do you have a question? Mhm.
It's fun. I am the one that asked about the school readiness after school sites only. So do
Yep.
I go ahead and apply with my provider ID? Or I wait until,
Well, you can go ahead and apply, get your application in, and then eventually we'll let you know what you qualify for.
perfect. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
yeah, I would say sure, go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Beth?
So I actually found the slide that was at the ELC provider meeting. And it
Okay.
said performance bonus. Employees who receive a completion bonus of the child success grant are eligible if the center has a 5 or higher class composite score. It says employees $500 and director $600, or if you improve by 0.5. It's the 6th bullet on the ARPA slide that was at the last meeting.
Yeah, that was you, Diana. So you're absolutely right. This has to do with, we'll receive 500. Okay, this has to do with improving your score. Okay, it has to do with having a 5 or higher where the class composite score improves by 0.5 or more. So it is, and we would have to be able to gauge that. So employees receive a $500 and directors receive a $600 bonus. You must prove that your score increased.
Okay, so the last time we were assessed, we had a 4.9 and now we're a 5.6. So we have provided that growth, yes?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, we don't have the final documentation on any of this. What you know, I've read off of this thing. We're in the process of putting all this together in packages. So each of you, so your scores will be, Carolina, they're gonna be, I mean, do we get that from our folks? They monitor the progress of the scores? Is that how we're doing it?
Yes, BO's group are the ones who do the scoring, and we will get that information from them to be able to complete the application. What we do ask, and in your case, Beth, also keep in mind that if you are planning to do the class that part of the grant, the upskill director wouldn't be available and you
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to do the upskill director. So these
Yeah,
are things.
I guess my only point of clarification was if we were just recently assessed, recently meaning in September, and our score improved from last year, is that where they're looking for the growth from last year to this year?
Yes.
Okay,
My quick answer would be yes. You can definitely put it in an email and I will verify this and clarify it for you if it's a point of concern to make sure that we get the absolute final answer from DEL to have the correct answer for you.
Great,
Yeah,
thanks. So
the right thing though, Beth, for us to do would be that we take everybody who achieved that, and we have to get that on a list. And we would
Right.
reach out to you to say, you need to apply because here's what's in it for you, right? So
Perfect.
I think Carolina and I and the whole team will get together with the other side and we'll actually make sure that we're approaching all centers that qualify because it's the fair thing to do. If the money's here,
Great.
this is what it's for.
Great, thank you.
We're excited about all this. Miss Campbell, you're back to us. How can I help? How can we help you?
Hi, yes, I'm sorry. Listen, what if the teacher already completed 45 hours, but did not get a chance to do the exam as yet? She's in the process
Okay,
of
well,
doing
they've got to do the exam because they need to have that on the transcript. We can only
right.
pay if we get a DCF transcript. And
Right.
they can only get a DCF transcript is if they've complete the test and if they're successful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Arrow?
Yes, I noticed that on the eligibility, we need the DCF licensure. If you're an
Yes.
after-school center and you have a religious exemption in place of a DCF license, do you qualify?
Carolina? Victor? I need you to ask us that question at ARPA at elcmdm.org and that because I really want you to get that in writing, okay?
If you
Okay.
could tell me,
Yes,
the name
ma'am.
of your school and I'll look up the information for you and get an answer back to you as soon as possible.
That'll work perfectly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maria Elena Lopez? I'm sorry, not Lopez, Lozano. I apologize.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is it Lozano?
I am so
Okay,
tired by
hi.
now. I've been working since 7 o'clock this morning on these meetings and I'm like ready to
Don't
cry.
worry, Anna, you're always very helpful to me. I appreciate it. I'm with Westchester Academy. I'm glad
Oh,
to be
yes,
here.
I know you. Thank you, Maria Elena.
I'm only calling you, as I'm talking to you guys, I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. So I kind of went on to the elccorewebauthor.com, but it doesn't allow me to choose myself as a provider. Like I can't find myself. Am I supposed to do something specific?
Send an email to
Okay.
ARPA. Yep.
I'll
And
do
if you
that.
have your provider ID, just share it. They'll get right back to you.
I got it.
mean,
I know
that
my
whole
provider
team
ID.
is- Yep. Mhm.
I'll do it. Thank you so much. I'm going to mute myself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if we're missing any other questions. Diana, have you seen anything we haven't answered? Teacher has connected to the schools.
Any question that did not get an answer, please email us at arpa@elcmdm.org because we may just need further guidance for that. We will also pull all these questions and create a frequently asked questions document in English and in Spanish. We'll be posting that to our ARPA Workforce webpage. Thank you very much for all of your questions. These have been very, very good. Thank you.
They're great. Yeah.
Can you
Diana
repeat that
posted. Oh, Diana, repeat it.
Again, please, can you repeat that email?
Certainly, it's arpa@elcmdm.org. I have also placed it into the chat so you can copy it from there. So it's arpa@elcmdm.org.
And I'm going to put the screen up where that is, so you can just take a picture of it. Here is the email address right here in the middle, arpa@elcmdm.org. This is where you're going to ask all your questions, and the wonderful ARPA team is going to get back to you right away. Everybody have that? Okay, well, I'm going to give you back 7 minutes of your evening time. I want to thank you all for being with us, for asking these fantastic questions. you're gonna get really tired of us because you're gonna see us a lot. We're gonna come back to you with information and we're gonna be working really hard to make this as easy as possible, even though it's pretty complicated, but we're gonna make it easy and we're gonna work with you so that you all can get, we can get this money in the hands of teachers, in the hands of directors, in the hands of the centers and the homes. So we're very grateful for all of you being with us. Have a wonderful evening, get some rest, and we get to do it all over again tomorrow. So take care and good night, everyone.